what it is. This is Jammin with Juice. And make sure you go like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and go to jamminwithjuice.com to become a certified juice jammer. Remember, from here on out, you're amazing.
It's Elon and Juice. You know we keeping it juicy.
Spilling truth with a smile so sweet. Talking all the buzz from the blogs and the tweets. From the headline to the hometown streets. She bring the flavor, can't nobody compete. Something juicy with Nani Juicy. Talk of the town, yeah, she got the news. Keeping it fun, keeping it true. It's something juicy, keeping it juicy too.
Welcome back, everybody. You are tapped into Jammin with Juice, and you heard that right. It is time for something juicy. All right, and the first thing that I want to bring up is something that I actually saw on Facebook yesterday, like yesterday morning, I believe it was, and it's so crazy. But somebody made a post on Facebook and said, "Why did I just see a man hanging from a tree in Brookfield?" And then everybody obviously starts sharing it and commenting on it, and they're like, "Are you serious? Is this for real? Are you sure it's not like Halloween decorations? It's a real body?" And they're like, "Nah, like it's gonna be on the news soon. Somebody had to have put that person there overnight." And then, according to Milwaukee Crime Report on Facebook, it says that witnesses say they saw a body hanging from a tree near the golf course in Brookfield around 7:03 a.m. yesterday. Emergency crews responded to a deceased person, a DOA, in the vicinity of Moreland Road, just south of I-94 in Brookfield. Authorities confirmed the individual was found beyond any help, and there was a large police presence in the area. The scene was taped off around the golf course and nearby hotel, with cop cars and a coroner's van visible. The closure extended from the southbound I-94 exit ramp into the city of Brookfield all the way to the Moreland Road, Greenfield Avenue intersection, and then the site and the scene was cleared around 10 a.m. and traffic went back to normal. But the city of Brookfield police chief said that the death appears to be a suicide. And so some people who were driving past did put up some videos. The videos I saw, I didn't see necessarily a body, and Lord knows I didn't want to, but you definitely did see a large police presence surrounded by this one specific tree near the golf course. So everybody was just like, "Oh my God, is this really a person? Do we know if they're black? Do we know if they're white?"
Yeah.
Like, they were confused as to how it could have been a suicide, because they said the tree that the person was hanging from, it wasn't super high up. So it doesn't look like it could have been something where someone like did it on purpose and like actually did a suicide. They feel like it could have been someone who was killed prior to, and then they put them up there or whatever it is. This is all alleged information right now. But it's crazy regardless that it's 2025 and people could potentially be still are being hung today, and not just here in the Wisconsin area, but I've seen this across the country. There have been more people popping up just like being hung and things like that. And so I think that is so disgusting, but it's just sad too. And I'm praying for the family if they know who it was or what was really going on with that.
Yeah, Juice, when I first saw this story, again, it's one of them things that make you say, damn, like, you know, it's unfortunate that these things are happening, but they are happening. They haven't released the victims,
who it is.
Yeah, they haven't released his ethnicity, his identity whatsoever. But I will say and put it like this. All right, I know if this is a white gentleman, they're going to say that this was a suicide, and if this is a black gentleman, they'll say it's a hate crime. All right. Go ahead.
We kind of talk about this a little bit, but I just feel like I haven't really too much heard of, you know, if it is a white person, of them being like hung on a tree. Yeah, I don't like when certain communities usually create suicide or do suicides, and that's not to say that it's not possible for them to be on a tree, but usually I feel like they kind of do that in their home, in their house, or like in an area where they're comfortable.
Right, they do it along their bed or something.
Yeah, like, and then they'll leave like a note maybe, or send like some messages. But usually when it's a tree, that's more symbolic, you know, to our community and what we experienced in the past.
No, that is very true. Typically, if it's like an outside tree or whatever, you'll see one of us hanging, and then that's very unfortunate. So it's crazy how you can
And in
kind of
Brookfield, man, that's crazy.
Which tells you
Not really, but
not really, but at the same time, when I view all of southeastern Wisconsin, and I'm thinking about Milwaukee, I'm including all of those regions around it, because it's the greater Milwaukee area, right? But with that being said, I would hope that nobody has that much hatred in their heart to do something as heinous as that, because it's
hatred in their heart.
Yeah, they got a lot of hatred in their heart to go and hang somebody.
That's been a thing.
True.
You say you hope people don't have that much. Do you know the America we're living in right now? There's a lot of hate in people's hearts.
You're right, but I would also say that because of the president that we do have in the White House right now, I think what he permeates out here is a lot of hatred. So people go out and do whatever types of crimes they want to do because underneath the guise of Donald Trump or whatever, they feel like I can do this.
Yeah, and I just
but I would hate for a fact that I would hate for it to be an actual hate crime against a black person. And I would hate for anybody to feel like they were lonely and they were like, you know what, I don't have nobody to really depend on. I'm gonna just go ahead and off myself this way. It's just unfortunate, man.
All around.
Yeah, all around. You never know what somebody's going through. Like, and honestly, anytime I think about somebody hanging, the first person, besides like our actual ancestral history or whatever, that goes through my mind is Robin Williams. I always think about Robin Williams when people talk about somebody just, committing suicide that way, because ultimately Robin Williams was a person who gave out a lot of joy, a lot of spirits, and ultimately, influenced a lot of people in the right direction. However, he wasn't happy inside and felt very lonely. So it's just one of them things, man, where, especially throughout this weekend, when you guys do go ahead and kick off your weekend, make sure that you tell somebody that you love them. Give somebody a hug. You never know what that can do to change somebody's life or their day for that day,
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so moving right along though, you guys, you remember the app Vine? Vine. Yes, Vine was like our TikTok before TikTok.
What?
Yeah, that's what I would say.
This is a thing?
It's the app that people, my generation, I would say, used to make a whole lot of videos on there. It was like 6-second videos. You really have to get very creative to like tell a story in just 6 seconds and to like go viral and things like that.
DC Youngfly came up off that.
He definitely did. It's a lot of creators that we know now that have come off of Vine. But a new app called Divine is launching as a revival of Vine, the short-form video platform that shut down in 2017. The project is backed by Jack Dorsey through his nonprofit and other stuff, and it reintroduces access to over 100,000 archived Vine videos alongside the ability for users to create and upload new content. So I think that this is a great idea. Why not? I take that back a little bit. I think it's a great idea because it'll allow for people to be creative again in a shorter amount of time. However, I do feel like that 6 seconds that we had with Vine made our attention spans like terrible.
I mean,
and that's why we got shorter videos now that everybody feels like, oh, I have to go viral in such a short amount of time, just 30 seconds or just 1 minute. But I don't know. I think if you get really creative with it, it could just be a fun little thing.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this thing kick off and take flight. Jack Dorsey behind it, and see this is the thing, right? This is the thing because Jack Dorsey is, again, he was the founder of Twitter. He had kicked off Twitter. He saw the early stages of what social media can become, and he's a part of that blueprint. However, he's also a part of, he's actually really a part of the people. He's not really down with the elites like that. So when we're talking about the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world who are, just only trying to make certain that your attention span can only be so short, and putting out programming for your, to kill and hijack your brain and your dopamine senses, I think Jack Dorsey will find a way to make certain that we can still remain healthy while, still intaking this social media, this new social media on Divine. That's what I believe. Because Jack Dorsey also went on to go say that, in the next few years, things on the internet people will start to fall away from because we're not going to know what's real and what's fake. So I think there will be something baked into that recipe over there in Divine versus what we'll see in all these other apps, whether it may be TikTok, or whether it may be X, or whether it may be Instagram. So we'll have to see what Divine talks about. But now I'm saying the word, I find that a little suspicious.
Why?
Because it's like divine.
Yeah, it's like DIVINE.
That's almost saying like this social media app is divine now.
I think it's just apps that's trying to take over the TikTok era. You know, I think everything is stemming from just TikTok.
I think TikTok is over. I think we're finna find a new wave. Like I think TikTok is cool right now, but it's gonna be a whole new thing that's gonna hit.
How soon though?
I personally don't know. I would say in the next 5 years though. For sure.
Yeah, the only apps that really have lasted that long are like the big three: Facebook, Instagram, and what's the other one? Twitter.
I guess. I mean,
Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram are like the staples right now, or have been the staples since the beginning of social media. Really,
everybody forget my boy Tom. You know, like MySpace wasn't that stuff, man.
Yeah, MySpace didn't last. Tumblr didn't really last.
True.
I think Pinterest is still up there.
Yeah, Pinterest is definitely still up there.
Snapchat was trying to have somewhat of a revival.
I think Snapchat is just there. You know, it's just there. Like if you're a Snapchat person,
I think it's for like super young people.
Yeah, I'm cool on Snapchat.
But shout out to Divine.
I had a Snapchat.
I bet you did. All right, you guys. Next up, I want to talk about Chadwick Boseman.
Wakanda forever!
No, 100% Wakanda forever. So a special honor is definitely coming his way. Billboard reports that the late actor will receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame during a ceremony on November 20th. Now, Boseman, if you don't remember, he passed away in 2020 at age 43 after a battle with colon cancer, and he's going to be recognized for the legacy that he left on the screen and the impact he made on audiences worldwide. So Ryan Coogler, who directed Boseman in Black Panther, he is set to speak at the ceremony. Viola Davis, who starred alongside him in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, is also going to take the stage to reflect on his work and his influence. And then his wife, Simone Ledward Boseman, will attend to accept the honor on her husband's behalf. So shout out to Chadwick Boseman. I think that was still one of the deaths in our community where we were 100% shocked about it, and because we had no idea that he was battling what he was battling and what he was going through. You know, a lot of people were talking about it on social media, saying like, oh, he looks like he's getting smaller, you know, what could be going on? And some people were cracking jokes about him and things like that, not knowing what he was really going through behind the scenes. But for him to pass away, I think it completely shocked the world. And it's one of those moments where you kind of remember do you remember where you were when you found out? I remember. Really? I was sitting at home on my couch and I saw it on my timeline, and I was just like, man, that was so unexpected for him to be so young, and just, I don't know, just a really great talent overall. I think the next person who we were very shocked about, I would say, would be Malcolm Jamal Warner. I was completely shocked when Malcolm passed away. More so probably because he was still very like active and in the public eye, even when it came to theater and him doing music and him performing. Man, Malcolm changed lives on The Cosby Show. That's what Theo from The Cosby Show, and other things as well that he was doing and that he acted in, but Theo was his biggest role. But those are the two that I feel like more recently was just like, man, very unbelievable.
Yeah, I think, you know, the power of the Black Panther will be with the power of the people forever. You know, shout out to Chadwick Boseman and everything he put down, the Boseman family.
And it's deserved, I'd say.
It's definitely deserved. I sat back and watched this man's work, you know, from Black Panther, and I went and actually looked at everything he had going on, man. It's just one of them things where, you know, Chadwick Boseman, I would like to say that he was taken from us too early, too soon, but at the same time, I feel like he fulfilled his life's journey. You know what I'm saying? He did everything he was supposed to do, you know. So shout out to Chadwick Boseman. But, you know, when we talk about the Black Panther movies, for Black Panther 3, they said that Damson Idris is supposed to be set to play in the next Black Panther movie, along with Denzel Washington. So I know Marvel is cooking something up, and they're probably going to use his Hollywood star Walk of Fame, that whole thing, to resurge what they got going over there at Marvel, because they need this.
I would love to see Damson in Black Panther.
I can see it as soon as they said Damson.
And Tiana Taylor.
Oh, yeah, Tiana would be cold.
I would love to see Tiana Taylor in Wakanda. Only because, or Black Panther. Well, yeah, Wakanda. She gonna be in Wakanda. She just posted not too long ago that she had to fill in for somebody. somewhere doing a role for Black Panther. She had to like walk out and like learn the moves super fast, and she killed it, you guys. If you go to her Instagram page, you'll see what I'm talking about. But she would be a perfect fit to add on to that, to be one of the soldiers, to be one of the No Limit soldiers over there in Wakanda for a Black Panther. But yeah, shout out to Chadwick Boseman for sure. Now, the last thing that I would bring up for something juicy is taking people, they're very upset about this thing that I'm about to talk about, because it had to do with the bill that just got passed in order for the government to reopen up, that people are saying kind of like snuck in there. But the hemp industry is facing its biggest shakeup since the 2018 Farm Bill, after Congress advanced new federal language that would dramatically narrow what counts as legal hemp. The change aims directly at products that became popular because they fit into a loophole. Items like Delta 8 gummies, THC infused drinks, disposable vapes, and edible oils, they could soon all be illegal nationwide, you guys. Under the original rules, hemp was legal as long as it contained no more than 0.3% of Delta 9 THC. Businesses use that definition to create alternative cannabinoids and extracts that produce similar effects but stayed within the limit. The federal government is now moving to close that path completely. Excuse me. So pretty much, they're trying to define what can actually go into these products, and they don't want any THC in the product. So like the Delta 8 gummies, the Delta 9 gummies, if you have any like CBD that has hemp in it, all those THC infused drinks that we have talked about before, all of that could soon be illegal. And people did not know that was also part of the bill, as to why,
and they signed it.
The government was shut down, but that was in there. So now that has been signed, they are definitely gonna make some moves in order to make it illegal. But people are really upset about this, because you might think that the THC gummies and things like that are gonna make people just high or whatever, but some people use it for medical issues. Some people were using it for their cancer treatments to help them, or if they had pain in their joints and things like that, and they would use it with lotions, and it was just a lot of other reasons that people would use THC and like the different gummies and just items and products that had different levels or low levels of THC in them. I remember I saw a video of a mom saying that she gives her daughter like something that had like THC in it when she was having seizures. Yes. And so it's just really unfortunate that they want to get rid of that as well, and it kind of was like hidden inside of the, I don't even want to say hidden, because like they should have read it. Well, they probably did read it, but they lost the fight, so it is what it is.
I'm not gonna lie, there have been a lot of people out there who have taken advantage of that loophole in that bill, and some part of me was a little jealous, but whatever. But shout out to Goodland.
Why you wanted to get in on it, though?
Yeah, and I got my reasons why. But shout out to Goodland Extracts. That's actually the place that I went to, Lady B, Milwaukee. Okay, it's called Goodland Extracts. You can go on their website.
The Goodland.
Yeah, the Goodland. And honestly, they have some good stuff, man.
Why get it from Chicago when you can get it here from the Goodland?
Right.
We would have did a great commercial for them.
Oh my God, it would have been crazy. I might have been baked doing it. Just go to Goodland, man. You want to get
that's gonna be no more.
Hey, for real. So they may have to switch up their whole business model, but I'm not gonna lie. Part of me definitely did feel some type of way, because I went into a Woodman's just recently, and I went over to the liquor aisle or whatever, and they had a whole thing there just for THC, like a whole little door for the THC drinks. It's infused with this, it's infused with that, and part of me just pisses me off, because I know for a fact there have been young black men like myself who have went to jail over a simple gram of marijuana, and now you have all these other people who may have good credit or just may have the funds to go ahead and start their own business and sell it through a farm bill loophole, and I was like, damn, like that is messed up. But at the same time, when it comes down to these gummies, I do think that there is a risk taking them. I think a lot of people, especially when I talk about those smoke shops, just put whatever in them, put whatever in them, and they're not regulated. It's not regulated. It's just, you got that Zaza pack, or you got the Cinnamon Toast Crunch gummies. Like, what in the F is that? You know what I'm saying?
But it's like,
Folks
okay,
just out here trying to get high.
people be mad about that, but then they cool with taking honey packs from the gas station.
That is very true.
Like, what's going on? Or taking the blue pill from the gas station.
Yeah, them gas station drugs, y'all better leave them alone, man.
Like, come on now. Let's really be for real and honest about it.
I almost died off of one of them things, man, or at least I felt like
See, okay, so you will feel comfortable taking that, but you got an issue with the THC gummies over here.
I don't take those, though.
You said you did.
I did for good little extract because I was trying to be, a good partner. And I did want to taste
I thought you said you took a blue pill from the gas station.
I did take a blue pill from the gas
station.
station.
That's what I'm talking about.
But I tried it, and then this is me telling y'all my testimony. I tried the blue pill from the gas station. Hell in the F no. Just the other day when I was telling
Why
you guys.
Why did you take that?
Well, because sometimes I'll be trying to see what else Ben Jammin can do.
You freaked out, bro.
Look,
you too freaked out, bro.
They tell you can last for hours off these things. So I'm like, you know what?
Why do you want to try that?
Because
test that out.
I was experimentative at the time.
Crazy.
And all I know is, bro.
Not judging.
I took the blue pill, and I'm telling you, my man's got up. You know what I'm saying? I got rock hard. You know what I'm saying? But every time I got rock hard, I could feel my heart beating. Okay, and it's not like when you smoke a little ganja or whatever, and you're like, oh man, is that my heart? Is that my heart? No, I knew for a fact this is my heart. And I had never in my life felt my heart like that ever. And I threw it up immediately. Because I just needed to just calm myself down, calm my nerves, okay? So stay away from them gas station drugs. Stay away from the smoke shops that promise you that this gummy is filled with THC and it says Cinnamon Toast Crunch on there.
Yeah.
Like, just stay away from all that other stuff. It ain't grown from the earth. Don't do it.
They definitely are. They definitely are getting rid of a lot of this stuff. They already tried to take away the vapes. I don't know. I saw some posts saying like all the vapes were being wiped out from all the smoke shops, and all the hypes were very upset about that. But I mean, it could have been. I mean, no, I'm not gonna lie. People was in tears. People were in tears on TikTok talking about my vape. I don't know what to do with my vape. It's gone my vape. It's like,
R.I.P.
bro, chill out, bro. Chill, please.
I mean, well, what I will say is, like I said before the other day, America's number one drug is escapism. So people are looking for ways to escape out of their own reality, and it seemed to be that vapes was one of the most healthiest and readiest things that was readily available for people to do, especially out in public. They could do it, but at the same time, I am so happy that vapes got banned, because I knew what they were doing. They should be illegal. I hit one of them things before, and I swear my lung almost popped.
Now, what they're trying to say, though, is the reason why they don't want all of these different smoke shops and these THC loopholes and things like that. One is to get black people back in jail, because they're like, oh, we want more people in prisons. And then two, they noticed that alcohol sales are down. And so some of the people who voted on this have connections with different alcohol companies, like allegedly Jack Daniels and stuff like that. So I think they want the liquor to, because that's already legal, obviously, for a certain age. So they want more people to go back to a different vice, so to speak. So
I guess
very interesting stuff.
They want to kill you fast, because like when you even talk about that, Juice, it's already reports saying that Gen Z isn't hitting the clubs like that anymore.
They're not drinking.
They're not drinkers like that. They hit vapes. That's what they got introduced to. Yeah, and I mean, you get popcorn lung, which is an irreversible disease from hitting vapes too much. Like, it's terrible for you. You should never actually even hit a vape. But at the same time, like you said, they want you to have some kind of vice where you are, killing yourself essentially, and it's crazy out here in America, because at the end of the day, it's like, you wake up and you want to be healthy, and they supply you with everything so you're not healthy. Like when the lockdowns was here, when the shutdown was here, all the liquor stores were open. All right. And that was considered essential, especially up here in Wisconsin. Wisconsinites love to drink, right? So it's just one of them things, man, where you need to watch out for everything that's around you, because it's literally poisons everywhere. You may even be drinking a soda right now, and that's poison. So
yeah, no, it definitely is.
But choose your poison. Pick your poison wisely now.
But that was something juicy, you guys. Now, when we come back from our juice break...
What happened to that juice? You go something juicy.
Oh, yeah, juicy. Something juicy. Woo. But when we come back from our break, you guys, a celebrity, a big star just had her baby. And I'm talking, should I tell them who it is? I'm going to not tell you who it is. I'm going to let you wait a little bit.
Barty C.
Because... why do you do this?
What?
Why do you always do this?
Dude, what are you talking
I be
about?
trying to tease something, and he always want to tell it before it need to be told.
I didn't say nothing, bro.
They know who you talking about.
They don't know who I'm talking
But
about.
anyway, somebody just had their baby, and they are someone someone getting criticized for it, and I want to know you guys' thoughts on it.
Betty do need that press.
Make sure you guys keep it locked. We got more Jammin with Juice. I almost said some juicy. Jammin with Juice up next. Dang. Stay locked in. We'll be right back on Jammin with Juice. But in the meantime, hit us in the chat and join the conversation. We'll take a look on the other side.